What's up, folks? Welcome to episode 4 of the White Mike Show podcast. Well, it's just the White Mike Show, not the White Mike Show podcast. I don't know. It's been weeks. It's been weeks since we've talked to one another because I've been sick as fuck. I don't know if you understand this, but children are nothing but petri dishes, vectors of disease that are sent into your home like little fucking... Sorry, I'm a little pissed about it. I don't like it. Thankfully, there's no vomiting. Just an unbelievable amount of stomach cramps and pain. But no vomiting. Because if I had to vomit, I might sell my children. Perhaps. Well, I mean, how much should I get? They're cute, but they're annoying. You know, I love them. Don't get me wrong, I love them. They're annoying, trashing his kids. I love my kids. You fucking live with them, all right? For 5 minutes. I mean, they're mine. They're beautiful. I love them. They're sweet. They're great. I am popping this fucking microphone like a son of a bitch. We gotta turn this bitch down. How's that? We good? I don't know. I might be too loud. It might not be. I don't know. But it's something I want to talk about today. I want to talk about it weeks ago. I'm not sure how much the brain's going to let me do it. But we're going to give it a go. And we're going to talk today about one of my favorite things. As I get older, I'm less interested in them, obviously. But still, I love it. Trash queens. Let me explain to anyone who doesn't understand, as I say it immediately, what exactly a trash queen is. And what a trash queen is it's very hot but trashy, mostly white. I've never really met a black trash queen. That would probably be something else. And in all fairness, black chicks, it's not my forte. I don't know much about black women. I've never dated one. I've never had sex with one. I don't really know much about them. They scare me. A lot of them are very mean. I like white girls because they're nice. Very nice. I haven't really met any other races when we're dating yet. I would like to try. Well, I mean, I can't. I'm too old. But I would have liked to have tried, you know? Like an Asian chick. I bet you they're cool. Like, just like a genuine Asian. Not like, oh, I'm Asian American. That's cool. Who gives a fuck? I mean, like a real, like, not Japan. Go to, like, Korea or something and meet a chick. That'd be kind of nice. You know, just see what that's like. Goofy little... But anyway, back to the trash queens. Trash queens are... But and again, it's a certain level of trash, and you have to be attractive too, because like there's lots of ugly, trashy, disgusting bitches that no one wants or is interested in, and neither should they be, because you know the fact that they're trash. But the more important thing is when they're super hot. I have a thing. It's a weakness for just the trashiest white chicks of all time. I think we talked about it before, like girls that have hand-me-down clothes like from their brother. That was when I was in high school, college, that's my jam. If I see you in a pair of pants that I'm positive used to belong to your brother, I'm hitting you up. Hi, my name's Mike. I'm not going to tell you that because then you might know my birthday. But I'm Mike, and, you know, I like long walks on the beach and sitting and staring at the stars. But I'm a fan of that. I like that. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway... Sorry, I gotta get back in the swing of things. It doesn't matter. We'll keep moving on. Trash queens are fantastic. I love them to death. Are they a pain in the ass? Are they unbelievably difficult to deal with? You can't really bring them home to your mother. They're not really something you'd want to marry, honestly. This isn't marriage material we're talking about here. This is you're a teenager and you're trying to have fun. Fun. There's nothing better than like a chick who might get into a fist fight with her mom. It's so hot. I know how stupid that sounds. I know how it's destructive. It's not good. Whatever. But it doesn't change the fact that it's hot as fuck. Like Amber Heard. Case in point. Amber Heard, much like Amber Heard, Britney Spears, these people who managed to become famous but are still trash queens. They're just so fucking hot that it transcends. I mean, this woman shit in a man's bed. Amber Heard took a shit in the middle of a man's bed. If you don't think for a second... her and that... let me tell you something. Let me tell you a secret. Amber Heard showed up at my house with the red hair she's got in that Aquaman movie and that fucking suit on. Bro, I'm throwing my whole life away. I know what I'm getting myself into. She's out of her fucking mind. She's doing coke in a goddamn... in a courtroom. She's doing bumps in a courtroom. I don't know if you know this, but it got hard as fuck. Like, that shit's insane. No wonder Johnny Depp was fucking her. You put up with that because she's crazy as fuck, but I bet you anything... she doesn't know what a gag reflex even is. I promise. I bet she has no clue. Not a semblance of an idea. What? What's that mean? Huh? She's never... Huh? No. No, that woman makes dicks disappear in her throat like it's her job. Because that's how she got her roles. She's a terrible actress. She can't act for shit. She can't act her way out of a brown paper bag. But again, we're talking about trash queens. You see them all the time. You see them. It's the chick who's like acting wild as fuck at a register because somebody won't take her clearly fake $100 bill. But she's got an ass that you could bounce a fucking quarter off of. And she's just like, I don't know what is it. I don't know what it is. I think it must be like nature. Like, this bitch is going to be out of her fucking mind. We've got to make her attractive or else she won't reproduce. But that's not true. There's tons of fucking just pigs out there that reproduce all the time. Just ugly fucks. No, but I love a trash queen. But there's a line. There's a line that they cross that I'm not a huge fan of. Trash queens can't be moms, dude. If you're a mom and you're a trash queen, But it depends. If you can be like a good mom and still be a trash queen, but there's lines. Like there's just shit you can do. Like, okay. So I went to this woman's house, and her friend was there. I was just there to hang out. I wasn't trying to do anything because I'm not like that. I'm not a guy like that. Like, where I'll just meet up with someone and fuck them. That's not my bag. That's not my deal, dude. I don't do that. I like to get to know people because then if I know them, the chances of me catching anything are much slimmer. Not only that, I have sex with personalities. Don't get me wrong, I want them to be attractive, but that's not that a shitty personality on top of someone who's attractive really makes them not hot. Like, I can't stand them. If I can't talk to you for more than 15 minutes, how in the fuck am I ever gonna have sex with you? Because God only knows what you'll say while we're fucking. Probably something disgusting that destroys my erection. Because fuck, but for real. So, like, there's a line. So I go over to hang out, and we're just chilling. And like this, she's got a daughter, which is fine. You know, you single mom, that's whatever. I know how the whole Jordan Peterson, the whole like the shitting on single moms, and yeah, it does suck. Do I want to raise somebody else's kid? No, it'd be very, very hard. That's why any stepdads that are doing a decent job and aren't beating the fuck or fucking their stepchildren, they deserve a goddamn medal. But so I'm at this woman's house, and her friend is there, and her kid's there, and we're like just hanging out. And this woman, with her kid on the couch, like reaches for my belt and like starts fucking with it, and she's like talking all dirty to me, like, "Hey, you wanna?" Immediately, no, because there's a fucking 2 or 3. I don't know how old this girl was. There's a child, a female child, mind you. There's a female child 2 feet from me, and I cannot tell you how much of a turnoff this scenario was. That because then she's like talking to her friend about like, "Oh, you want to watch her?" And I'm like, "We're not doing shit. I don't want to watch who?" And she's like, "Well, I could put her in the bathroom." Put her in the bath, bitch. She's not a fucking dog. Like, this isn't a pug that is gonna like not stop barking while we're fucking, which I've had happen before. Not a pug, but it's not a dog. Like, you can't just put your kid in the fucking bathroom. Like, if you think I'm going to be able to get an erection around a woman who would do this to her kid, you're out of your fucking mind. I don't understand this. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how is this an acceptable way for you to behave? Did you think that, like, I would find this attractive? What kind of guys do you talk to that you think... Now, I'm used to the average the average trash queen is going to have just a slew of terrible boyfriends. But usually, and this is my preference when I was dating, my preference is if I trash queen, it's like if I have an abusive ex-boyfriend. Because I'm never going to do that. I'm just super nice. And then anytime you have these like wild arguments where you flip out and you think that like we're going to be in some kind of a fight, it's like that doesn't happen. Like, is there something wrong? Like, and you hit these crazy, but then a lot of times it doesn't work out because you're not providing the trash queen with what she wants because they've been conditioned by having shitty parents who've done nothing but display the worst possible relationship to them. And then they're like, well, I have to replicate that because that's all I know. Like, if you don't hit me or tell me that I'm trash and constantly treat me like garbage, then how do I know that you love me? Like, as though that's what love is. And then as you grow older and you realize that you have to stop fucking trash queens because all you're really doing is you're just adding to their life sucking. Like, you try to tell yourself that, well, hey, maybe I'm the nice guy. It's like, but if I was the nice guy, I'd just be friends with them and I wouldn't be fucking them. Like, but at the same time, is there another side to that? Is there another? Because the other side of that is while they date me, right? You're not going to date me forever. While they date me, I get to, at the very least, give them a glimpse into what it looks like and how you should be treated, and that you shouldn't allow anyone to treat you any less than this, regardless of like how our relationship ends or what you think of me or what I think of you. At the very least, know that this is the bare minimum for how you should be treated, and that you shouldn't accept any worse than this. At least that's my hope. Whether or not that's what actually happened, I don't know. I don't keep track of them. But God, I just like looking. I've hit a point now where there's no world. I have no interest in meeting someone new and fucking them. That's not real life. That's not real life at all. It's a fun thing to talk about. Like, it's fun. It's fun. Is it fun as a guy to be like, 20-year-old, like, if I fucked you, you'd be, it would, I mean, I'd ruin you for the next, like, 6 years of your life before you run into somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. Like, it's fun. It's a funny thing to think about, but I'm not doing that. Like, what am I going to, in all fairness, it is fun. It's fun to talk to 20-year-old girls. It is. Because I've lived a decent, like, if you're talking like Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt, no, my life is pretty boring and pathetic. But I've lived enough. I've lived enough to have, like, thoughts and opinions, and I've heard enough ideas to be able to, like, formulate things that are interesting or fun for some 20-year-old to listen to. Like, to talk about, like, the idea that I have of love, or, like, the sexual confidence I think that women should have, or like the beauty of women, or how amazing space is. And, like, if you think about the fact that each one of us made up of star stuff, which means that not only were we all one at one point in time, but, like, we have been all things. All things are us, and then, like, as we're born, it's almost the same as, like, some kind of cosmic, like, just this cosmic formation created in, like, infinite chaos, and it's beautiful. And, like, to have this conversation with someone who's never, I mean, they've never had the opportunity to be alone long enough to even think about that, or to be lonely enough to think about, like, what it is, like, what loneliness is, or, like, what it is when you connect with a person, or how fleeting and beautiful all that is. It's great because they're captivated, they're listening. Like, it makes me feel like the things that I've done and experienced, and it's not wasted because this is interesting to another person. It makes me feel like, oh, I didn't waste my time watching those YouTube videos or reading those books, or, like, looking into this thing, or sitting around and thinking about the nature of my own existence. So it's nice. It is nice, and I understand the allure of that. I genuinely get it, but at the same time, what? Like, they should go be with someone, they say someone their own age, but I don't know how much that's true. Like, it's cause like I was saying, I've talked about that with a friend of mine, that, like, Leonardo DiCaprio, I use an example because he doesn't have a girlfriend that's over the age of 26 or something fucking crazy, which is a gross exaggeration. But if you think about it, like, this guy has spent literally his entire life sacrificing tons of things just to have the life that he leads. To date another person in his wheelhouse or his area at his age, they will not be as impressed by the things that he's accomplished. And I understand the idea of, like, I've done all this and I want to be with someone who just goes, so, like, yeah, that's what you should do. Like, cool, that's a great fucking cutting down of all of the hard work and sacrifices I've made, like, the things I've done to get to the point where I am to be able to do this. And then after you date them for a long period of time, like, at a certain point, what you have will just become the norm to them. So I get the idea that it's like everything I do is normal. Everything I, like, taking you to the French Riviera isn't special. Like, this isn't a romantic, amazing moment. It's just another Tuesday. And I mean, that, as a guy, I can tell you, as a man, that's the fucking worst feeling in the world, when you feel like everything that you do is just what you're supposed to do, and there's no good. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. That's why, like, men hit these points where, like, the midlife crisis. That's the midlife crisis because you've done and worked and sacrificed so much, and no one around you appreciates it. It's all just, well, of course, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're expected to do as a man. It's like, yeah, you are. And then at the same time, it's like, you're not right to bitch about it. Like, you're still wrong. because like this is what you're supposed to do. But I can understand the drive, and I don't think, depending on who the person is, because like again, talking specifically about Leonardo DiCaprio, like there's no downside to this. There aren't any women who've come out and been like, he was a fucking tyrant and a complete piece of shit, and I hate him and I wish we never dated. It's like, you dated Leonardo DiCaprio for a few years. That means that you are in circles of people now that the chances of you making less than $500,000 a year for the rest of your life are almost fucking nil unless you're absolutely useless. It's like, but if you're a beautiful young woman who's been introduced to the most famous people in the world and given the like an unbelievable amount of opportunities just because you're dating Leonardo DiCaprio, like the doors that opens for you and the things that you can do. And would you have been better served dating a bunch of fucking college-aged fuckboys? Like, I don't think so. I generally don't. I don't think they would have been better off dating someone their own age who doesn't have enough time for a girlfriend, and if they do, that means they're not doing very much to benefit their future. So I think that guys their own age are genuinely too busy trying to build a life for someone that they could share it with later on. Or some of those guys, and that's not to say that there aren't couples and groups that meet when they're young and then work together to garner something, but I don't think that's for everyone. Like, I listened to Jordan Peterson talk about like the things that you should do because you're pathetic, and I do agree that like being in a team and having children, especially having children, fucking have kids. If you're thinking about it, have kids. Well, I'm not ready. I don't make enough money. No one makes enough money. No one's ready. It's not. Have a fucking child. Like, if you are with someone that you love, have a kid. But if you have a kid, you got to stick it out. And it's your job to teach your children the types of relationships that they are going to want to have in the future. You model for your children what a relationship looks like. You model for your children what friendships look like. You create the foundation to show them what it's like. And you know tons of people. Every fucking guy that you know that's with some fucking harpy bitch that just stomps on his soul all the time. It's like, yeah, I bet you $100 that's what his mother did. Which is exactly how his mother treats his father, and that's how that relationship goes. And he's probably a mama's boy who gets coddled by his mother a fuckload and then will allow some woman to walk a fucking mud hole in their ass because they're pathetic. And they haven't been able to grow up and they haven't learned how to or the girl that just dates guys that just a slew of men that treat them like shit over and over again. That's just all I know. That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to fight and argue. You're supposed to be at each other's throats all the time. That's how you... No, that's not true. That's not true at all. If you're at each other's throats constantly, that's probably not a very healthy relationship. And the idea that you should stay in unhealthy relationship, like, yes, you should. But a place where I definitely disagree with Jordan Peterson on is the idea that if you're living with someone, you're saying that you're good enough until someone else shows up, I don't think is factually accurate. I think, granted, I'm sure there are some people that are doing that, but I don't think that's most people. I really think that a lot of it is people trying to make sure that you know the person that you're trying to marry, that you're trying to be with. I understand, like, you can never really know. You can't really know, but you can know some. You should know some. And you should make sure before you before you get married and bring children into this world that you can actually, like, cohabitate with this person. Because, yes, it is true that for the majority of time, and probably still now, getting married and having kids is your best option. But I do also think that rushing it in a way that had to be done previously in a world where it is no longer as imperative to do it as quickly as humanly possible, I think that we're granted the ability to learn about each other and discover one another. I think the problem comes when the learning and discovering of one another happens with not 5 or 6 people throughout a 10-year period or even 3 or 4 throughout a 15-year period. I mean, if you're dating, you're 15 years old. I mean, the amount of dates that you could have. I mean, 4 or 5, 6 by the time you're 30. And by you're getting 30, you're pushing it. You're pushing it pretty fucking hard, I think, at that point. I think when you've had too many is a problem. Because then you're not doing that. You're not trying to see if this is the person you love. You're just trying to get that short-term or as a woman, you're allowing men to just run through you until you finally realize, like, oh, I can't just throw my pussy at them and then have them decide they're going to love me. I have to want more and then decide that you're going to be a prude with the person who actually is going to treat you well. It's very strange. I think that you bite yourself, you bite yourself, that's not the word. You kick yourself in the ass kind of doing that. You fuck yourself over. And you should be more, you tell women to be more selective with who they let inside of them. I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I don't think that I also believe that you shouldn't. I'm of this. If tell my daughters, I have a daughter. The thing I will tell my daughters is obviously my kids are gonna be fucking. There's no idea. Here's a fun fact I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell every dad and mom in this that's listening to this, all of you. Fun fact: if you have a daughter, she's gonna suck dick. If you have a son, he's probably going to be eating some pussy. I don't know what to fucking tell you. This wild idea that parents have that somehow, well, not my child. My kid's never going to do that. Bullshit. Your daughter will probably be in a fucking hallway or in a gym locker room somewhere sucking her boyfriend's dick in high school. If you don't think that's the case, you're out of your fucking mind. Look, what? I'm sorry. What does her mother do? Just think about that for a second. What's her mother do? The same shit. I'm not saying to think about it because it's fucking gross. You don't think about it. But don't act as like I'm going to act and pretend as though my child is not a normal human being and won't do normal human being shit. Yes, they are. Yes, they will. Like treat him like, well, my daughter would never do something like that. I'm not letting her out of the fucking house. She's not doing nothing. Sure, do that. And then you do that, and that's how you create girls who get trains ran on them, just so you're aware. So maybe be more realistic with it. And my goal is to tell my kid, listen, I know you're going to be fucking. I know you're going to be doing dumb shit. It's like, at the very least, please let it be with someone that you love. The first time you have sex, I believe it to be unbelievably important that it be with someone that you love. It doesn't have to be with a person you plan on being with for the rest of your life. It'd be kind of nice. I have a friend that's like that, and I think it's genuinely one of the most amazing things. Like, for your wife to be the only person you've ever slept with. For, like, that, especially back in the day when that was, like, the first person you ever saw naked. Like, how unbelievably beautiful you must find that person. It's fantastic. I think it's beautiful. Genuinely beautiful. I don't know how much it works in terms of, like, practice, because I do think that it's important to have I guess, unbelievably important to have a good sex life. Very important. And I don't know... I that's why I don't mind the idea of, like, sexual marriage with other people. It's like, what's a sin? Good for you. But I think it's to figure out what you know. And is there something beautiful about figuring that out with the partner, like your forever person? Yes, I do think that that's true. But at the same time, I do think that there's a danger in that, and that's why the time to have fun and experiment is in, like, your late teens and early 20s. And so you take the time to have a little bit of fun. Nothing crazy. I'm not saying, like, you go out and fuck the football team. I mean, you can. It's a free country. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to watch that. Don't ever think that I'm whoa. This is not judgment. I don't think you're a bad person. I watch an unbelievable amount of porn. Real dirty shit, too. So, no. I have no problem with it for that. But I think you'd be happier. I think most people would. I think that's necessary. I think it's a downside of OnlyFans. Is you have, 99% of the chicks that are on there, it shouldn't be. Because, like, this isn't what you want. This is not what you want. Like, Katrina Jade wants the life she's living. If you see, look her up. Katrina, Katrina, Jade, Jade. You watch her work, this woman wants to be where she loves that shit. She'd be doing that without the cameras on. But a lot of these OnlyFans chicks are really, like, you're just a normal girl and you're putting yourself out there a lot. And I don't know if you're really thinking about it. And this whole, like, I'm going to do it and fuck it all because the money's great. The money's great until you're 40 years old and this is all you've got for your life. There's going to be a lot of kids getting made fun of because if I could see. I remember this kid I went to, Peter Young. I probably just say his whole, it doesn't matter. No, I'm not famous enough, nor will I ever be. Peter Young, his mom was so fucking hot. Dude, if she had an OnlyFans, my whole paycheck every fucking day. Are you kidding me? Every week, Every week, $200. Let me see what Mrs. Young's sticking in that naughty little snip snap. I definitely want to see that. And if you don't think that's going on, bro, if you're a hot mom and you have an OnlyFans, every kid in that class is going to know. Every kid's going to know. Because, I mean, that's going to be, I mean, for me, I'm a teenager, bro, I come to your house and your mom's hot, I'm fucking finding her, all right? I'm getting a picture. We're doing some reverse image searching. I will find her Reddit. I will find her OnlyFans, and I will be beating my dick to that constantly. There's very few things in this world better than discovering that there's dirty shit about a chick that you know personally. Holy fuck. Let me tell you, I find out that, especially if it's a girlfriend, it's an ex-girlfriend. I found out like an ex-girlfriend has doing porn now. Bro, I will bruise my penis within the first 72 hours of learning this information. I promise. I'll have to be chained to a bed to stop myself from beating my dick. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it, but there's just this, like, they do what? So I had to see this normal person be just a complete and total slut. That's fucking fantastic. I'm so excited. Because as I get older, that's like, seriously, as I get older, I don't have very much interest in fucking anybody. I have a lot now. Let's say I see a hot chick and she's with a guy, I want to be like, yo, dude, how much money to watch you just absolutely rail the fuck out of that chick? Like, I bet you do a good job of that big old young penis you got. You just slip that bad boy in there and you just go to town, don't you? I want to see that. That's all I want to see. I don't want to do nothing. What the fuck am I do? Like, for what? For what? Like, what's the point? Like, genuinely, the thing I have in my head now, when I see, and not even just young, just anybody. I see anybody that's, like, hot, I think about, it's like, yeah, it's cool to think about fucking them. But, like, if I was presented with the option, if you're like, hey, you want to fuck? No. Actually, as a matter of fact, I don't. Because then I got to go home and take a shower. And I don't want to do that either. Like, if I fuck you, I have to take a shower. And I don't know that the sex you're going to give me is worth the shower I'm going to have to take when I get home. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to shower when I get home. I want to go home and play some video games. Maybe shower in the morning. Maybe shower before I go to bed. But I don't want to, like, have to take a shower. And I think that's when you really start to know that you're beginning to age. When the fact that, like, I'd have to shower after I have sex with you means, like, I don't know that it's worth it. I don't know that I want to put in the work. Because, like, that's what it is. If as a guy, sex is work. And if it's not working, you're not doing it right. But it's work. I have shit I got to do. I got to pay attention to you. I got to make sure that, like, I'm doing a good job. Because if you don't, women will make fun of you. They will tell their friends, and they will fucking dog you for the rest of your life. Will they tell anybody if you're the best they've ever had? No. They won't tell a soul. Not a soul. They don't fucking go around bragging. Be like, yo, you will not believe how fucking awesome this was. God forbid. No. But if you got a tiny dick and you suck in bed, every fucking chick they meet's gonna know. It's bullshit. Can't get any fucking positive press around here. Need a fucking Angie's List for slinging dick. Because I used to. Back in the day, I used to be good. I'm not good anymore, but I used to be good. I'm the Doc Holliday slinging dick back in the day. Back in the day, dude, unstoppable. Just the king. I mean, an uncrowned king of cock slinging. And it's not fair. You know what I mean? I know. It's like, it's a fucking stupid thing to be proud of. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I ain't got a lot, okay? I got Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi 2. I will fuck you up, right? I got slinging dick, and that's about it. I got nothing else. I used to be able to play Magic like a motherfucker. I ain't doing that shit anymore. I used to play Magic like a motherfucker. Do I do that? No. I don't play Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 2 either, because I don't have a PlayStation 2 and I don't have that game. I love that game though. I'd throw the amount of shit I would trade to have that back. But like, this is it, you know. But there's no recognition for that. Zero. Like I said, they don't even fucking tell their friends. You can't even tell a friend. You can't be like, hey, listen, I'm not saying so your friend fucks me, but at the very least, can I have some goddamn confidence? Fuck. Like, there's nothing in the world I get to fucking feel good about myself for. Nothing. And I'm not saying that, like, I want to be super full of myself and, like, arrogant, but it would be nice to have something to be like, hey, this is the thing I do really well. I'm acknowledged for doing it really well. That's pretty cool. Nope. Nah. They said, fuck you and fuck that. I'm keeping that shit to myself. I'll tell you. That's why you can't trust them. You can't trust women. You can't listen to them when they tell you that something's good or great. I started taking the approach, when I was having, because okay, so check this out. A girlfriend I had in high school. This is probably why I'm hung up on it. Girlfriend I had in high school lied to me for like a year and a half about having orgasms. She was just like, well, it just seemed like it was really important to you, and it wasn't happening. So instead of communicating, hey, fuckwad, what you're doing isn't working. You're gonna need to do something different. Fuckface, which is the problem with why most men suck in bed, is because chicks just don't say anything. They're like, well, I'm not gonna tell him. I'm not going to give him a hint or pointers or any ideas. Nah, I'm just going to let him figure it out. And if he doesn't figure it out, it'll be fine. I just won't have a good time, and then I'll tell all my friends how terrible he is in bed, and then he'll have to find out later on how bad he is or how small his dick is or whatever it is. So I find out, and then, I mean, we're talking about an unbelievable hang-up. Because, I mean, she was telling me, again, she's telling me it's fantastic. Telling me, oh, it's great, I love it, it's awesome. None of this is true. Not really enjoying it at all. Never has for like a year and a half. Just none. It's like, so that's when I learned that you cannot trust them and you cannot listen to them. You have to. I mean, did I sad? Did I like Google to try and find out if there were signs to tell if a chick is having an orgasm so that I can know regardless of what the fuck they tell you, so that they can't lie to your face and be like, oh yeah, no, it was great, bitch. No, it wasn't. Like, no, it was not. You did not have an orgasm. This was not fun for you. And I know they're going to fucking tell everybody that I suck. Like, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to be a fucking laughing stock. Because you just can't be honest with a motherfucker. You can't just be like, hey, so check this out. You're really bad. And the thing you're doing sucks balls. Like, knock that the fuck off and do this. Because I mean, unless you've got the random girlfriend who's never touched herself ever, which is very rare. And then if they don't, then they're not a very sexual chick anyway, which is weird. It's weird, but you can deal with it. But you have to have the mindset for it. Like, it's work. Like, here's the deal. I'm like finding out how motherfucker. Let me tell you something. If you strap me down and like 5 ugly men jerked my dick off with not even 5, just anybody, the amount of people that could make me come. Because literally, it's just about skill at that point for a guy. As a chick, your head's got to be in it. Like, your mind's got to be there. You got to trigger special shit. Really try and get a woman to be comfortable enough to have an orgasm. And that's a lot of fucking work, goddammit. And again, do you get any recognition for No. Maybe in the moment. In the moment, you get those like breathy like sighs and they're all like out of breath. And that's the only. And let me tell you something. Those moments, fucking burn that shit into your brain, because that's all you're gonna get. The afterwards, the fucking 5 minutes after you've rocked their world is all you're gonna get. Because after that shit's over, motherfucker, you're back to normal. What? We didn't do nothing, huh? I'm sorry, I don't even talk about those types of things. I wish that a woman had any idea what it was like to be a guy, and the fact that let me take this back. Not as many guys think about it the same way that I do, based off of the information that I've got from women and the conversations I've had with some men. Now, there's a thing that happens with chicks, and isn't that they do nothing. Okay, women in bed for the most part do nothing, and then when they do, there's a subsection of the ones that do. It's smaller. I'd say about 30% of women do something in bed, and of that 30%, about 5%, about 10%. Are doing something that's actually beneficial. And then of that 10%, I'd say there's about 1 to 5% of those that actually put it on you. Where they will fuck you. Now, this is based off of porn that I've watched. And I understand it's porn I've watched and women I've had sex with. In the porn I watch, you're watching professionals. And if you watch less than professional pornography, that's when you begin to see just how terrible women are at bed. Because all you have to do is lay there. I mean, you just have to be there. And then some of them don't even talk. Like, you just be there, say something nice, make nice noises. That's about it. That's really all that's required of you. God forbid they do more than that, but that's all that's required of you. And then there's ones that can't be bothered to do that. You ought to see some of the wild-ass flailing bullshit I've seen off of chicks. Like, if anybody needs to be watching porn, it's women. These bitches don't know a goddamn thing. Like, worried about guys learning shit. It's like you're just learning too much excess nonsense that's just like a hot thing to see in a video. And it's hot to do at times. But it's not something you do to everybody all the time. Like, you can't take those kinds of lessons away. If you want Here's a tip. If you want to learn how to sling dick, Owen Gray, I think we talked about this before. You want to learn how to fuck, Owen Gray is the man for that. You watch Owen Gray, Deeper.com, Lush, Blacked. All that shit's great. I mean, Blacked maybe not. I mean, if you got a huge dick, you can watch Blacked and maybe learn how to use it that way. But those motherfuckers, you just put it in at that point. You got a fucking log in your pants. Which I'd love to know what that was like. Just be one of those big dick morons that just gets to put it in there. You know what I mean? Because I've heard that too. Lots of guys have huge dicks from the chicks that I've talked to. Like they don't use it as well because you don't have to. I mean, it's like there's no finesse. Let me tell you, with a lock pick, there's a finesse. A battering ram, you don't need as much. You just throw the fucker in there and it opens the door. You know what I mean? And I know there's girls out there, yeah, but it hurts. Yeah, but you kind of, you liked it a little bit. Don't lie. A little bit. I do like that redhead chick that likes that the amount of men that she's helping with that. And I'll tell you, it helps a little, but it's still not there. It's not all in our head. It's chicks too, because don't fucking, you don't really care. Bitch, you'd fucking care. Let me tell you, we don't really care. It's like I don't really care to you for my birthday. Yeah, unless I don't get you something. Yeah, no, you don't have to do anything for my birthday. That's a fucking lie. The amount of times that women just tell you that, oh, it's fine. No, it's not. Don't fucking lie to me, bitch. We all know it's not fine. But somehow you think, no, it's fine. Which would be nice if it was actually fine, but it's not. It's not. They lie. They lie through their fucking teeth. It's like, so, yeah, they don't care about your dick size until they do. And then, like, guys care. It's like, yeah, I care. You're goddamn right I care. And so what's the old saying is that, it's not the size of the fuck is it? It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. Oh, it's a the fuck's his name? It's a here's your sign guy says it. I can't remember his name, but he said that it's not the size of the not the size. God damn it, I'm a fucking moron. It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. But it takes a long fucking time to get to Europe in a rowboat. Okay? Which is true. Which is very true. So you're always terrified of having a tiny dick. Like, I'm half white. I don't have a regular black guy dick. I wish I had a black guy dick. Just a big fucking, just 10-inch hog that, like, I can barely fits in my underwear. That'd be so great. I wouldn't wear pants. I mean, my personality would be wildly different. Like, anytime something just wasn't working out, I just pull my dick out and be like, look at that. It's like, listen, I know I'm stupid, but you see that? Look at it. Look, listen. I know I didn't come to class yesterday, but check this out. You see that? Look at that. Huh? And would it work all the time? No. Might I go to jail? Maybe. But I'll tell you this: I'd be slinging that big dick into some boy pussy in that jail. I'll tell you that. Some of that bussy. What was I even talking about? I don't know. I'm just rambling. I gotta get back in the swing of things. I mean, so here's fun fact. Here's what we're doing today. I'm trying to do podcasts, right? Half the time I can't fucking talk right. I sound stupid as shit. I start to say something. I don't know if I get in my own head about what my sentence is, but it's nonsense. Like this one today. This one today is like the fucking first one I did. I'm just all over the place. I started off with Trash Queens, just went on this just crazy line of nonsense. Spouting bullshit, bouncing around, going all over the place, can't really stay on topic. It's because I don't really have like a thing specifically to talk about. I can. I mean, I was trying to talk. Well, I guess I've been talking about sex today, which would probably be something I talk about a lot. It's because I worry the more that I see from young people, like they're fucked. Like chicks are screwed. Literally the fact that teenage men are choosing video games over pussy blows my goddamn mind. My whole life revolved around it. There's nothing I wanted more. Which brings me to another thing. Why isn't there a better term for fingering? Can we talk about that? We got fellatio, making love, like cunnilingus. There's like all these terms, and then there's fingering. Like that's not. I mean, a thing that could be very romantic and like it's very sexy, and it's just fingering. Like fingering, like that thing you do to a fucking bowling ball. I mean, come on. We gotta do better. Fingering. And also, now that we're on to even more, we'll get deeper into sexual stuff. Who's out there eating ass? Now, I don't mean like as a guy for eating ass. If you're a dude and you're letting a woman eat your ass, do you not love her? Like, is she a hooker? I understand the idea if like you pay a woman to eat your ass. Okay. But are you doing this with like the people that you love, like the mother of your children? You're having the mother of your child like your asshole? What the fuck are you talking about? And yes, it's a double standard. Of course it is. This is a woman's asshole versus some your nasty, hairy, fucking brown eye. Bro, stop it. Get help. For sure. 100%. Don't do that. Don't do that to people. Have some poor, sweet angel down there just fucking all in your grundle. Ew. Bro. And then we gotta stop this in porn. The last thing I want to watch in a porn, like I thought for a while that like watching some dude get his dick sucked. It's like, yeah, I can imagine that. I don't want to watch another man get his asshole licked. That's not real. What the fuck? Huh? What are you doing? Stop. No. There's always some, especially it happens in black way too much. I don't know what's worse. I can't figure, I haven't been able to decide because one has to be worse. Whether it's some white dude with his hairy asshole getting licked. Or if this black, I think it might be the black guy because they got the same nappy hair on their asshole that they have on their chest and head. You think black guys who get their asshole eaten, do you think they wear a do-rag on their butt when they go to bed? You think everybody ever tries to like get waves in their asshole hair? Or if they get it lined up? Like their girl goes to get a Brazilian and they go get their asshole. They get like a Caesar in their ass. You got their asshole's got a sweet Caesar and it's got their initials like shaved into the side of it. No, I'm the only one. That's my phone. Ignore that. I didn't put it on vibrate. No, man. Anyway, I shouldn't. Who cares about that? Anyway, it just you know. Anyways, I discovered this guy named Sketch. I mean, I discovered he's fucking huge. I don't know. I've never seen him before. What's up, brother? I don't know if you know. You gotta look that guy up. Holy fuck, he's funny as shit. I don't know. Like, it seems like an exaggeration of who he is as a person because I think he's got issues. But fuck me, he's so fun. What is up, brother? Special teams. Special plays, special players. Oh, fuck. No. I know I said in one of the other podcasts I was going to start watching those movies that I got, and I have not watched a single one. I haven't sat down to watch shit. It's not that I don't have time. I don't have the drive to watch things like I used to. I used to love sitting down and, I mean, you couldn't fucking drag me away from a TV show, but I haven't been able to do that kind of thing in quite a while. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I feel like it'll be a waste of time or I won't enjoy it and I'll have done it and I'll have wasted the half an hour or the hour or however long it takes. I don't know. Because I mean, it's like I'm just like sitting here and the same YouTube videos are playing over and over and over again. So I'm not really getting anything new, or it's just like dumb political shit that I think the reason that I think if I think about it, the allure of the political discourse is the fact that it's constant discussion, like with debate about ideas, like a back and forth, and that maybe through this back and forth, or maybe what I'm just looking for is like that hit of confirmation bias, where I'm looking for things that I can possibly agree with. Like I watch, and it's so hard to like, or maybe I'm trying to find a more intelligent argument to play like as devil's advocate for things, because the amount of conversation from one side that's got decent points and then the other side doesn't have points, but there are points to be had and they're just not using them drives me fucking insane. And just, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to discover some more stuff about myself as a person. I've realized recently that I'm I'm a narcissist without a doubt. But I recognize and acknowledge that about myself as a person. But I think I've been having a hard time because I've been so focused on the fact that I'm a narcissist and all of the aspects of myself that don't align themselves with what I would consider a good person. A good person or a good friend, or like there's just things that I will not do. I do not do them. I will not do them. I will never be this person. I will never be that man. And I think that whatever kind of enlightened view of myself that I managed to obtain through use of psychedelics has it's opened my mind to who I am more than I ever was before. So I never knew before, or even if I knew I was a narcissist, I never saw the problem with it. I never saw there was never a vision in my head of a better person that I could be. Like the idea of like what it would be if I were more honest or more engaging with people, or if I was gonna like go visit people and do things that I don't want to do, that I'm just not going to do, and really focusing on that and not being able to let that go is like constantly being like, well, this is who I am, and like this is who I should be, and acknowledging the fact that who I should be is not who I ever will be, and all I am is who I am right now. That I might be able to change in small ways moving forward, but who I am right now is pretty much foundationally, at the very least, who I am. There's ideas and thoughts that I can allow to grow and change and be altered, but ultimately, I am this way. Like, I will disappoint you. I will let you down. I will think of myself before everybody else for the most part, unless there's again, unless it seems as though I'm doing things altruistically. Even in those moments, I'm doing it for myself. I've had to tell my friends that I'll buy them things and they think that I expect something in return. It's like, no, because I expect, one, I know you never will. It's the fact that I have done this thing to make me feel good. It has nothing to do with you. Like, I am using you to make myself feel better. The only thing is that I'm giving you something and expect nothing in return for it. Because before, like, I used to be more of I do these things and then there's no reciprocation and I hate you because you should be. This idea that everyone else should be the way that I think they should be at every waking moment. I still feel that they should be, but I know that it's wrong. Like, I know that it's wrong to think that. I have just crazy thoughts that I completely ignore or have to actively tell myself that they are wrong. But then there's things that like aren't going to change, like the going out of my way to spend time in a spot that isn't where I want to be for more than 45 minutes. I mean, like, no, the likelihood of that's not happening. Like, oh, I'm going to do a weekly dinner with my fam. No, like, that's never going to be a thing. That's not real. Like, and it will haunt me. I will pay the price for that. People I care about will die, and I will have not been able to say goodbye, or I haven't seen them recently. And that's a price that I have to pay. But the actively hating myself or constantly being down on myself or only focusing on the things that I do not do or things I will not do, or at least like my shortcomings, does nothing to benefit me. And in all fairness, it's disrespectful to those that I let down and those that I hurt by being the way that I am, because all I do is feel sorry for myself instead of acknowledging and accepting who I am and just living that way and being that way. People will not like me. People will be very upset with me. People will hate me, curse my name. I will let them down, but I will try very hard not to lie and to use them in a way that doesn't also benefit them. Because that's the thing. I don't know. Discovering, I think in the past, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, discovering that everyone's not manipulating people for their own benefit. Like, I don't know how you get, like, it's a fun question. How do you get something from someone if you're not manipulate them? Like, I don't, like, and because in all fairness, because I never viewed what I was doing as a manipulation. I always viewed it as, there's something I want from you, whether it's to do something, give me something, go somewhere with me. It can be as simple as like getting up to get me a soda, or having sex with me, or dating me, or being my friend, or it's that I ask the question, will you do this thing? I receive a no, and then my follow-up question is why, and then all I care about is removing the barriers between what I want and the yes I get from you for you to give it to me. And I know that true narcissistic psychopaths or sociopaths will do anything necessary to get what they want. That's not me. I want things. I want them. Like, like it's not. I'm embarrassed by it now because I didn't truly realize what I was doing as a teenager, and I didn't pressure my girlfriend to have sex with me in the same way that, like, you sit there and like, oh, come on, baby, why don't you just come on, give me some. It's more of a genuinely, it was asking all the time, like, why are you not comfortable? Like, what can I do to make you feel more comfortable? Like, do we have to be together longer? Like, do I have to show some kind, like, to you feel comfortable? Like, what can I do to make you feel comfortable enough to want to have sex with me? Like, because even then, like, as you realize, I don't know if it's the same for anybody else, but there's I mean, nothing shrinks my penis faster than the idea that the person who's in front of me doesn't want to have sex with me. I couldn't pay a hooker. Like, that could be part of the reason why the idea of sleeping with some 20-year-old's not real, because, like, she doesn't want to fuck me. You think she's interested in me? Ew. I'm a gross old man, and I look like shit. Nobody wants this. So, I think so to me it's the idea of like, what can I do to make you comfortable and want to have sex with me? And that's like, do I have to make sure that you know that I love you, that I care about you, that like I'm not going anywhere, that like that this is important to me, that it's not like just something where like I just want to, it's like I could just jerk off, like it's more important. And then not realizing that that's still pressuring them, like it's still asking constantly what you can do. It's still pressuring them. It's still manipulating them. I've been told before that I do this thing where it's called I weaponize the truth. I was told by a person who was a very close friend at the time that I use the truth like a weapon, and that's what the devil does. So, as an idea, I guess, I've always been a very manipulative person in that I want things, and I don't lie usually. No, I don't lie, because lying to get something's kind of gross. I'm usually very honest, and I will use the truth to get what I want by just removing the obstacles that are in your way from saying yes to what I want. Especially if it's in your best interest. Like, I don't lie. I'm not threatening. I'm not violent. I don't use, like, emotional, what the hell is it called? Like, where I emotionally abuse someone and be like, well, you don't do it because you don't love me. It's like, if you loved me, you would. I don't do that type of shit. That's not how I operate. But it's still, again, even if I think about it personally, as I'm trying to be, like, I'm trying to be moralistic about it, or try to do the right thing in the way that I'm doing it. I'm still doing it, and to find out that that's not how people get what they want, I don't know how the fuck else am I supposed to just ask. Just ask and take no for an answer all the time, I guess. But there's like a yes in there. Like, I know that you're not really saying no to my proposition. You're only saying no to my proposition because there's things in the way that are stopping you. Like, say I'm rich. I become a millionaire. All of a sudden I'm a millionaire. And I ask my friends, yo guys, you guys want to go to France this weekend? All three of them are going to say no. They're all going to say no. Oh, and then I'm just supposed to go, okay. I'm not going to go, well, why? And they're, well, work. Okay, well, how much do you make a year? Like, do you have vacation time? I'll pay for it. Take the time off. Like, take time off. I'll pay you. How about this? How about you quit your job and I'll hire you? This is all manipulation. Like, with my friends, their wives. The three of them, their wives would never let them go anywhere with me in the same state, let alone fly across the country. But if I, if I paid for an au pair to come to their home and watch their children for a weekend, and I sent their wives to an all-inclusive resort for the weekend for manicures, pedicures, free drinks, free food, and then I guarantee you they'd be like, well, I guess, Mike's not so bad. You go have fun. Go have fun. Where are we going? He's gonna pay for all of it. The plane trip, the place we're staying, all of our food, expenses, stuff. Oh, he's gonna pay for all that. Yeah. Okay. That's still manipulation, but it's okay. It's acceptable. It's like is it still manipulation? Like, or is it just a quid pro quo? I don't know if that's really the word I'm looking for. It's not a word, it's a term. But so I'm not quite sure. I just know that this is, but anyway, I digress. Getting back to the fact that, like, I'm kind of a shitty person, as I had a friend tell me, like, it helped me realize, because I didn't realize before how little of myself I give to anyone that I know. This includes my children, friends, family. They get nothing from me. like in terms of like my time. Like the time I allot for other people is unbelievably tiny in comparison to the amount of time that I have. But to me, because I'm a narcissistic psycho, I'm giving you fuckloads of time when I give you my time. Like I don't want to. This is mine, and to me, it's a lot. And I don't know where I've had. Well, no, I do know. I have to accept the fact that I am the way that I am and that no one in my life has to have me around. Like it's a choice. I am a choice. I'm not a requirement in anyone's life. All the people that like I'm a requirement in their life, they're all gone. So the only people left are people who have like you have a choice. You don't have to deal with me, accept me, none of that. So I can be unabashedly myself. And to a point where like there's things about myself that I can hold back and I choose to hold back and I don't do. Like I'm not as much of a piece of shit as my soul screams out for me to be on a daily basis. But I have to like let go of the fact that I'm not perfect. The fact that I'm not as good as I know I could be if I could somehow let go of these aspects of myself that are very intrinsically me. Like they make me me. The less I am these things, the less I am myself, and the less I am myself, the more I hardly exist. Like I cease to have a personality. I'm not fun. I don't have fun. I don't make jokes. I don't do anything because I don't have like any foundational confidence whatsoever in anything. And it's like no, I'm not perfect. I can't kid myself about being a great or fantastic person or like a good friend or a great dad. I'm not. But I am those things. I am a friend. I am a father. Like I am a partner. I am all of these things. I may not be the best. I may not be as perfect as it could be, but I am these things. And I do them to the best of my ability, and I do them as much as I can. So maybe to you it may not feel like I'm making a sacrifice. To you it may not seem like I'm spending time or doing enough, but to me I'm doing a fuckload. And the part where we have to come to an agreement on that as two separate people is it feeling that way to me, like I'm giving you shitloads and I'm giving you as like a lot, is the fact that it feels that way to me enough for you. Because that's the real question is because for me, I'm great. I think you're awesome. Like I accept people for the most part for who they are, and then I will most of the time I actually enjoy the weird idiosyncrasies or the things that annoy me. I find them fun and interesting because I don't do them. I'm not that. They're not me. So I find them unbelievably fascinating. I would love nothing more than to like step into someone's life and know every single thing about them when I find them even remotely interesting. Like if they're a little odd, it's like I need to know everything about you. I want to know all about your life, and I'm genuinely fascinated. Like I think that there's very few things as fascinating as the individual, like an individual person, just the weird little things you might find in their mind that they think, or strange things that they didn't know, and how it was possible that they never knew a thing, or seeing, or another thing is like seeing someone come to realizations or conclusions during a conversation with you, or to be there in that moment when a person learns something about them. Like you get to learn something about a person that they themselves didn't know, like in a moment, because you've asked them a question that no one's ever asked them before. Because as interesting as people is, it's very odd for someone to take an interest in a person. And I can say that as someone who's, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to say like, I have always been interested in odd women, like different people. Like there's always like cookie cutter hot chicks, and they're like, yeah, they're great and they're fun, and they are definitely probably just as unique in their own way if you were to get past all of the layers. But I don't have any interest in trying to, because like people like that, they have too many yes men to deal with you asking questions or telling them no. You might be able to pull like some Andrew Tate type of bullshit on some airheaded moron, and then they're like, "Oh my god, he's so high." He's blah, blah, blah. But like, that's not. I'm genuinely interested in who you are as a person. And I think a lot of those people aren't ready to have a look at themselves enough to answer the questions that I'm going to be asking, and then to a point where you get too much resistance because they're not interested in anything about themselves. Where if you find someone who's unique or like not the hottest girl in class, but they're pretty, like they're beautiful, and you can see that in them, is a thing that I don't think. I mean, I think it's genuinely it's what I was addicted to, and why I find it hard to not continue to talk to women is the inside. There are so many unbelievably beautiful human beings out there that no one sees. Like no one sees them. They don't see them, and then because no one sees how beautiful they are, they don't see it themselves. Like random people don't see it, and they don't see it. And if they did at one point, they've lost it. They've lost the ability because they refuse that. I'm just seeing things. Like I'm seeing a thing that doesn't exist because no one else sees this in me. And to see someone like that breaks my heart. And there's nothing I want more than to provide a situation where that person can see how fucking amazing they are. It's like you have no idea. Like you are wildly beautiful. You are wildly entertaining. You're so unique and special, and no one's ever told you, and no one sees it. And I don't know how. Because they're all fucking blind, clearly. And I think that's where the joke of the cult stops being a joke and starts to be slightly true, is the fact that I know that there's fuckloads of people out there right now in this very moment, who are completely and totally alone and have no idea how fantastic they are, whether you're a guy, a girl, trans. That's what all these people who are trying to be trans are. They're trying to find a thing that makes them special without knowing that there already is a thing about you, and it's just you in general. You as a person are special and entertaining and fun and beautiful and wonderful, and like the thing that we all have in common is the fact that we are all snowflakes. So it's of course it's important to not get too arrogant about the fact that you are a unique snowflake, because of the fact that there are billions of snowflakes, and that you are unique, but that uniqueness itself is not unique, like because everyone is unique. I don't know. I don't want to be too far into the like fucking feel good about yourself, because it's not that fucking easy. It's not that easy either. Because I think it does. Yeah, you can only discover so much about yourself. You can only love yourself or see a certain amount of yourself without being truly narcissistic and really self-absorbed to a point where what you see at that point isn't real, and even if it is real, you tarnish it by how much you covet it, how much you just like, that's the only thing that you think of and focus on, is the fact like, oh, I'm a special little snowflake, and then you make that thing that is special about you gross and unattractive and uninteresting and really kind of lame, I guess. I don't know. But no, it is. I don't think it's fair, and I think that's why I've always like been flirtatious and not necessarily like, oh, but I think that it's good to occasionally tell a woman that she's beautiful, like especially if you think she doesn't know. Like I know it's like, you're not supposed to blah blah blah. Yeah, that's all fun and that's all bullshit. You just don't want ugly dudes who are really sloppy about it, because they're trying to do the same thing that I'm talking about here. Is that they see someone they think is unbelievably beautiful, and it comes over you. I don't know if the guy's aware. You don't understand. You don't fucking get it. You have no idea what it's like. You see a beautiful woman and it knocks you on your ass. You lose the ability to speak. It's like the fucking sun is rising behind them. You can hardly focus. It's unbelievable. And then, I mean, your heart starts to race. You talk to him and you're just feeble. It turns you into a child. And you just want to tell them. Especially if if you can tell they don't know. Like, you can tell. There's so many people who don't have a clue that they are unbelievably beautiful. And then you have a scenario where they don't know. There's a girl I work with who's perfectly fine. She's a cute kid. And like, she's definitely, and this is the thing, if you go your whole life and no one tells you that you're beautiful, the very first person that tells you, you're going to listen to. And that's a real big problem for girls. In my opinion, it's my experience. It's bad for girls because now you're 18 years old and you're out there, and the predatory fucking, like, just cockwolves that are out there doing nothing but trying to hunt down pussy will say every line possible to you. And you're out there, you're 18, 19, 20, you're drinking. And then this is when these women start making terrible choices. Because some guy says they're pretty, no one's ever told them they're pretty before, and then they're just immediately, it's like, no, don't do that. Jesus Christ, don't do that. And that's the thing is, like, you have to, these women all have to know. They have to know early enough so they have some idea of their own value. As I think a lot of these women will just, they don't understand their own value, and they will just give themselves up to people for free. Because they don't understand that the beauty that they have in not just their physical looks, but in who they are as a person has value and it has worth, and it shouldn't just be given to any fucking moron. Which we'll circle back. The thing that I would tell my daughter is, do not have sex with anyone that you don't care enough about to have a child, or that you wouldn't want to have a child with. Like, if you're going to have sex with somebody, make sure that it's with someone that you could see yourself having a child with, because it's possible for you to get pregnant. Just as simple as that. At the very least, like, you're gonna be doing it. You're never gonna stop them, and if you do, you're gonna turn them into fucking turbo sluts the second they're out of your sight. That's what's gonna happen. And I'm sure there's tons of guys out there who. And that's the other thing is, I think it's always the guys that have treated chicks like fucking pieces of shit and objects in the past. Like, I've never let my daughter. It's yeah, because you can't imagine a guy not being a piece of shit. Or you know that as a teenage guy, you're going to see your daughter as a piece of meat. Well, yeah. Yup. It's like, make sure that she's aware of that. It's like, and then not all guys are that stupid. They are not in as much control of their thoughts and emotions and the things that come out of their mouth when their bodies are bombarded with testosterone. Which I think is fun. And I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying this, but I have noticed in a lot of the cop body cam footage that there's a lot of F to M trans people who get in very physical altercations with police officers, and I wonder if it's because they're not used to the amount of testosterone. Because you see a lot of F to M trans folks who are kind of violent, like very angry, and I don't want to say violent because they're like violent action, but I mean, but there's a lot of violence there, and I think it's I wonder how much of it's the testosterone that they're on, and they're just like, they're basically fucking roid raging because they're tested out and they're not used to it. Like, do you know how much time it takes for a teenage boy to learn how to, and I'm not even sure that you just to like acclimate themselves with it? I mean, all you want to do is fight and fuck. That's it. This is constantly angry and horny. There's only two things you got as soon as that shit kicks in. And a lot of guys can't handle it, and they're built for it. So I think it's gonna be it's a rough path for some of these folks, and I wonder if there's like a data on that, if there's any information about it. I don't know, but you see, I'm into talking, and we're at what, 108. Jesus, we'll keep going for another few minutes. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure where I was really going with that, or where I ended up. Started at Trash Queens and ended up with, you gotta tell women that they're beautiful. But I'm blown away sometimes by how bad at it guys are. Like, I understand how these grifters for these fucking like coaches to pick up chicks. It's like, I get how that works. I get why these guys pay for these classes, because they don't fucking know, and no one's telling them. Like, no one's explaining to them, like, how you're supposed to, like, how to flirt, how to acknowledge what they're saying. And then they're like, oh, you just go to a bar and hit every chick you can. It's like, yeah, it's a way to get laid, but you're not going to fucking find your, like, a wife like that. You're not going to find someone to love like that. And, I mean, maybe. But even if you do, that's not the way to meet them. I don't know. It's a way to have a bunch of, like, meaningless sex with strangers, which there's a couple reasons I'm interested in that. One, you don't know this person, so the chances that you're going to know them well enough to have really good sex with them is pretty slim. And then on top of that, the chances that you get to fuck them again is slim. And if I can't have sex with you twice, I have zero interest in fucking you once. That's another thing. Why? For what? I have sex with you one time, and I'm never going to do it again. So if it's really good, I have to just think about it for the rest of my life. And never, no. Absolutely not. I'll do multiple times on this once bullshit. I'm gonna go out and have one night stand with a stranger. Why? It's like, what's the point of that? I really don't get that. It's just, you know what? You go to Walmart. I told you, listen, last episode, we're gonna do it again. You go to Walmart, you buy yourself some tropical plantation organic virgin coconut oil, 2 giant fucking tubs. Was there like a 360 ounce? No, 36 ounces. Jesus Christ, I can't read. 36 ounce tubs, 2 of them, $20. Those motherfuckers will last you months. Anytime you're like, oh, I want to go to the bar, go take a shower, hop out of the shower, and then just grease down your dick. That's the best bet. I guarantee you that and your favorite porno is 1,000 times better than some shitty one night stand with some fucking skank from a bar who smells like booze. Nah. That ain't it. That ain't it, man. Because here's another thing. Fucking some chick at a bar. She's sweaty all night, and I'm not into like all night dancing in a hot bar sweaty pussy. We were just talking about the fact that I got a shower, and I'm gonna try that. That shit doesn't come off. Oof, that shit's rough. You know what I mean? And like she's just got booze coming out of her pores. Like, come on, bro. Come on, there ain't no fun in that. And then there's the worst, like if she falls asleep. Oh, bro. And then oh my god, dude, I'd kill myself. You imagine giving some chick the dick and she suicide. So I'm gonna fucking take this condom off my cock and wrap it around my neck and hang myself from the doorknob. There's no fucking way, bro. What? Suicide. That's the only thing that's left after that. I don't know if I can say that many times after I'm putting this on YouTube. They get deleted. Who gives a fuck? We're at an hour and 11 minutes. All right, folks, that's going to be it for today. So what have we learned? What have you learned? We've learned that I didn't even talk much about trash queens. I like trashy bitches. There's a line that you can cross with trashy bitches. Your daughter's going to suck dick if your wife does. Fucking teach your kids how to have good relationships. I don't know. There's other shit in there. You listen to it. I didn't. I was just talking. I was in a fugue state. All right, fuckers. Till next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts. See you later. And as always, if anyone asks, I do not regret the things that I have done, but those I did not do. See y'all later.